All right, and welcome back to part 2 of this week's YAWA, where we're going to talk about some cool stuff and then get into answering a few questions for you. Now, today we have something that Kat and I have been working on for a very long time, and this has been more of a thought process, an idea, want to be able to do, and we kind of got a little bit of a push, nudge,
boost bump.
Yeah.
Donation.
Hurry up and do this. And we want to say thank you, first of all. James, we appreciate you and your family. They had their dog here for training and said, we really loved the experience that we got here at Standing Stone, and we want to be able to offer that in some other way via a scholarship type donation for somebody, something. And originally it kind of talked about maybe the potential of a dog, and then we thought together that a youth event,
which is where we had originally had ideas about and just didn't know exactly when or how to implement this. And this was the nudge that we needed to say, this is the start of that.
Absolutely. So our goal, and this has got a lot of pieces that need to be clicked into place here.
A lot of details to work out still.
Yes.
But we're excited, and so because we're excited, we can't hold it in, so we have to at least start by talking about it.
Essentially, the idea behind this is for starting smaller. I mean, all of this stuff takes time and money, and we want to try it out small and see if we can make it any bigger. But there has been a huge push towards people becoming dog trainers. Even, I would say, 10, 12 years ago, it wasn't really even much of a thing. It was kind of like you were doing something else and you ended up retiring and became a dog trainer. I would say that's a majority, not all, but a majority of the way that people became professional, quote unquote, dog trainers in a while ago. But it's become more popular. Social media things have changed. I think Kat and I have played some role into that people look at it and go, wow, I would love to do what you guys do because I love dogs. I love hunting. I love hunting dogs. I love all of these things. And it makes it look like that it could be a profession. So our idea behind the process is, more or less an event. So you want to be a dog trainer, and
for youth.
Yep. This is going to be, you're going to have to apply. We will go through the applications and we'll be able to pick somebody that gets sponsored essentially to firsthand view working with us, what it's like to train dogs, and and a whole lot more. And
get to handle and do a lot of things. Like we said, there's a lot of details that still have to be worked out, and figure out how to make this beginning seed of an idea grow into this entire scholarship program that we want to do, with the help of people like James and his family. And so if you guys are interested in getting involved with this, let us know. Like I said, this is just the beginning, and we're going to have to make a lot more decisions and a lot more plans, and definitely could utilize more people like James and his family that want to get involved.
And I know that he had mentioned that he wanted it to be essentially in Cody's honor as far as the gift itself goes, and not in Cody's honor. He just came and
don't spill the coffee.
Got it. Picked up Cody here, and they left us, and he said, "You guys need to open this together." And we thought,
me.
Okay, you got that side, I got the side. So this is from James and his family.
Come on, you're supposed to open the card first.
Come on now. Okay.
So for all of you that might just be listening right now, and you want to see what's going on,
Bebop over to the YouTube video.
Yeah, because this is also a podcast. So if you're listening and you want to see what we're doing.
And if you didn't know it was a podcast, you should check us out on any place you listen to podcasts. If you want to catch up while you're on the road, there's a lot of these great episodes, and you can listen to them, not just watch them.
That's right. So to all of Standing Stone, thanks for taking care of Cody and teaching her and us how to work together. We look forward to many adventures. The Schick family.
Awesome. Also, just to throw this out there, the questions that we're answering in this video are all coming primarily from comments on YouTube videos. So if you are watching this and go, I would really love to get a question answered, you should. We don't have a knife, do we?
What kind of a man doesn't have a pocket knife?
Ouch.
Sorry.
The kind of a man that loses every pocket knife he has because he puts them in his pocket and they fall out. So
Yeah, that's one of the last anniversary gifts that you got. Was a really nice pocket knife that is
that I
no
replaced
longer.
4 times before I let her know that I lost the first one. Yep.
Okay, now we should be able to get into it.
Okay. America.
Well, there is a sticker on there. Mm-hmm. Proudly made in the USA. Oh, cool. It's a short hair key chain.
That's cool.
Keychain holder, key holder. 1, 2, 3, 5 little holder spots. This will look awesome in the kennel. This is going to be awesome because I was actually just talking about this. So we're working on finishing up the new kennel. Don't lose those screws. And we have locker spaces for all of the employees now to have extra change of boots, shoes, whatever they need, an extra pair of clothes, some snacks, whatever they want to keep and whatever they want to keep locked up. So we have spaces for that. I also know that losing keys happens. So there is a spare key as well as their key. And I need a place to keep the spare key so that I don't lose it. And that will be a perfect place for it.
Yeah, that'll be absolutely perfect.
Cool. I'm excited.
We have, this is bourbon. And we have Pine Bluffs Distillery. It says Lodgepole Creek Bourbon Whiskey. It's 90 proof.
I need to look at it because I thought James was telling me a story about it, about something with the purchases.
It's a Wyoming made. It says from soil to spirit, Wyoming made. Batch 3.
So he was saying, and he might have to remind me, but that every bottle goes towards, some of the profit goes towards something. He was telling me that. So he said, even if it's not great bourbon, at least it went to a good cause.
I think what he said was they're friends or acquaintances of his. So that was going to a good cause.
Maybe. It was something. There was a story there. It's a little early because we're actually shooting this YAWA in the morning. So probably not going to crack that right now.
We're going to hold off on the old Lodgepole Creek, but thank you very much.
I want to open this and see what these glasses are. Ooh. They have short hairs engraved and embossed, etched. There we go. Etched.
Awesome.
Sweet. And I got one and Ethan got one. This is
a perfect size glass too. It's nice. It's just simple.
Yeah,
fits
I like
in
it.
Your hand.
And I like the dog.
I like it a lot.
Thank you so much. We will definitely be enjoying these. I may not be enjoying bourbon in mine, but there are lots of other cocktails that I like to drink.
You might as well enjoy bourbon in it.
Might as well.
Who are we kidding? You don't like bourbon.
No, I don't.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We definitely appreciate the glasses. Ethan appreciates the bourbon, and I really think this is going to look cool in the new kennel. So, speaking of James, he asked a question. So really? I want to answer it. Yeah, because this, I think, is a question that probably a lot of people have because, like we've talked about, we actually put out a fair amount of content. Would you say a fair amount? Mm-hmm. And like a video a day. We were a little slow here the last couple of days because there was this huge power outage and our video editor had no internet to get videos uploaded onto the interwebs. So there was a couple days lag, and so we're getting back into it. But from James, any chance of cataloging your content in a more searchable format? Not a tech guy at all, so not sure if it's even possible or worth the time. Playlists are awesome, and I love the vastness of the info, but like drinking from a fire hydrant sometimes. Just my 2 cents. So like I said, we put a lot of content out there, and I think that people sometimes get a little overwhelmed with how many videos.
From the first episode we talked about, and I said that there was a lady that called, and she had a name for the little black lab puppy, and I completely spaced what it was, and I wanted to say I remembered. She recommended naming him Micah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And there's apparently a black Micah, and Micah has a lot of value as far as medical uses and some other things to that extent. So, and anyhow, so thank you for that recommendation. Poof, there it is in my head, and I had to it out there before I forgot again.
And if you want to hear some of the other really funny comments and name suggestions, check out part 1. We talked about that, as well as we introduced the name of our new lab puppy. So
in part 1 of this week.
In part 1 of this week.
So to answer the question, James, we have a couple things that I can say. First of all, if you're looking for something specifically, and I tried this beforehand here, if you search Standing Stone Kennels and then pick a topic, whether that be crate training or pigeons or
nail trimming
or healing, potty training,
flow training, pointing,
any of the things that you
retrieving,
are hoping,
water intros.
Yeah, all the things that you're thinking. We throw in a lot of tags as well. So more than just what's in the title itself is actually attached to the video. But so I did this. I did Standing Stone Kennels crate training. All that comes up for me here is a crate training video that we put out, and another crate training video, and another, and another, and another.
And that's even one of our new ones, the 7 tips.
Yep, this one is is one of the newer ones. Yep. And then another one, potty training.
And it pulls them from a bunch of different playlists too. So
all the playlists are included. Every video that we have is there. And then that's the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos that came up, which is probably the equivalent of what we
9.
Nah, well,
I mean, it's the
okay.
It's
that
the
is the
beginning.
video. It did throw another channel in here, which is Stony Dennis, and that guy has got some really cool content out there. But
yeah.
And then these are like similar-ish, but we've moved on, and now we're into a couple of our other videos that are not really related, and then some other people's videos that talk about potty training and crate training.
But the first 8 or 9 videos are all ours.
Yes. So if you're looking for our videos to get through that, searching Standing Stone Kennels and then whatever topic you're looking for, that's going to help you pull up, more of a priority list of all of those across all of the playlists and everything. So give that a try. If anybody else knows a better way to go about doing that, definitely throw it in the comments below. And for anybody that is just tuning into our channel here for the first time, definitely hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it.
So that was a good question, because it was a question that I actually had of my own at times. I'm like, how do I even find these videos again after we've filmed them? Yes, it can sometimes be daunting, like drinking from a fire hydrant, if you will.
A lot of times I just get in a list. I start scrolling. I was like, it wasn't that long ago, was it? Scrolling.
Apparently it was. So good question.
What else we got?
This is a really good question from Aaron Mumblu.
Okay.
I'm glad you guys mentioned finding the right trainer. He's referring to the YAWA video that he's responding to, because that's how we're asking for our questions now, is comments on the YAWA videos from YouTube. I'm able to go through, pull the questions right from there. So let's say you have a subscriber who has decided in the future they would like to send their dog to you for training. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming he's referring to himself.
Maybe.
What's the process someone has to take to make that happen? And I thought this was a good question, because I don't know if we've actually talked about it. We talk about picking the right breeder, picking the right trainer, but I don't think we've really ever talked about what the process is of getting your dog to us for training and what that process looks like.
Well, the biggest thing that you need to do is, it's simple. First of all, give us a call or shoot us an email to start that conversation. Most of the things we do via phone call, though. I think that it's a lot easier way to communicate than back and forth emails, if you're to that point of ready to make a decision on something.
Yeah.
The next thing is we'll go over your goals, and as long as it fits into what we have the ability to do. I mean, if you call me and say we need our dog to become search and rescue dog, not me. I think that stuff's interesting, but we're not set up to do that. We're primarily, obedience dogs and family companion / hunting dogs and serious hunting dogs. And then we do some testing.
Yep. And we'd love to get a little more into the adventure dog stuff. We've really recently talked about getting a little more involved in some of that. Like Ethan has said how much he wants to go skydiving with one of our dogs. I'm just kidding.
That would be my biggest fear in the whole, not biggest fear in the whole world. I mean, I could do it, but I would not go out of my way.
I don't know if I literally could do it. They would have to push me out of the plane.
They would. They don't give you an option. And knowing going up there, I would be like, I'm not going to enjoy this at all. And I would just.
I wouldn't get on the plane. to begin with.
I would just bear if I had to do it to save. If you had to do it to save my life, you would.
Well, okay, yeah, but we're talking about doing this as an adventure, as a hobby, as something we look forward to doing.
Yep.
But there are a lot
adventures,
of other
no, not for me.
Adventure type of recreational things that we want to start trying to do with some of our dogs. We take them to the lake a lot, but there's a lot more that we can do with them. And so we've talked about getting a little more involved in that training aspect side of things too.
What about climb joring? You actually hook a dog to you and climb the side of a mountain.
I don't know if I could physically do that either. Some of our dogs get pretty big.
I just made that up.
Oh. Ha.
Ah.
But so
I just had this picture in my mind of like a billy goat on the side of the hill.
Yeah.
Because I saw that the other day that like goats, big goats, Nubians would be a big goat, right?
Yeah.
They make the best pack animals because they're all nimbly bimbly and they don't need to be led because they just want to follow you.
Ah.
So
we need goats, honey.
Yeah. If we lived in the mountains, absolutely.
Kansas is kind of like the mountains. I really want goats, except I want cute little Nigerian dwarf goats, which we used to have back when we lived in Northwest Kansas in Norton. And I really think that we should get more because Aiden would really like them.
So
and I would really like them.
If you think Kat should get goats and you're willing to come live here in our extra bedroom and take care of them, put it in the comments below. Kat's hiring.
Okay.
And by hiring, I mean you will pay rent and take care of the goats.
That's not what I mean. But let's get back to the question about what it looks like to send a dog. First, you have a conversation with us. Talk to about...
Goodness, that's what we digress from.
Where we started. Talking to us about what your goals are, and if that's in our wheelhouse of things that we train for, then we can talk about amount of time that we recommend. We recommend a minimum of 2 months of training for obedience-only training. For anything else that's involved with hunting, 3 months minimum is really kind of our go-to. We've tried a little bit less than that. And Ethan and I are pretty particular. We want the dogs that go home to be ready to go home. And if you start telling people, 2 to 3 months of training, they want that low end. And very few dogs can accomplish everyone's goals in that 2 month mark and be proficient enough at them that their owners are comfortable handling them. Because let's face it, you guys aren't professional dog trainers, probably not even professional dog handlers. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sending your dog off to us for training. So Absolutely. You want them to be coming home more conditioned, more of a default, more automatic. And yes, I still want you to feel comfortable handling them, know how to use the collar, know how to use the cues that we've shown them and taught them during training. But ultimately, I don't want them pushing the envelope for you constantly and being hard to handle for you at home.
Yeah, and that end goal time kind of depends on your dog because every dog is different and learns at a different rate. And
has different personalities.
And has different personalities. But then the other side of it just depends on your expectations. You know, if you're looking for I don't want to say run of the mill in a bad way, but the run of the mill, like they're going to do all of the obedience things in our mind. They're going to be doing all of the obedience things, which is here, heel, whoa, kennel. Not whoa, if it's a Labrador of any type, we would be working on sits or sit stays. And then as far as the field work would go, flushing or pointing, running with multiple dogs, handling out there, retrieving naturally if you're looking for more than that, or if we have a non-existent natural retrieve, we can work through some things with that.
But that's going to increase the amount of time because that's looking at doing an entire formal retrieve process, which you can follow along with Legend series on how we're going through that process with him. And that, for most dogs, is a 6 to 8 week process in and of itself where we're not working on any other retrieving. We might be working on a little bit other obedience, but we're also not in the field anymore. So that's standalone training that adds on to that, average of 3 months of training.
And then the biggest thing after that is we give you a time estimate for drop off. And it is a kind of like a floating time window because our program is 100% designed around catering to each individual dog, as well as you all. You guys are busy, you have busy lives, and we understand that set dates and whatever, need to happen, but that changes based on when your dog's ready and when you have availability. So all of that has to be fluid. And when we get close to the next month, we start scheduling things out and try and plan around pickups and drop-offs and everything else.
But we can say, hey, like right now, we are currently taking deposits for training spots in February. So if you're interested in getting your dog in for training, it's not going to happen this hunting season. You missed the boat.
Yes.
We don't have space, but if you want to take your dog hunting and then bring them
And this
back,
video, so that everybody knows, is 2020. If you didn't look at the date here,
yes, okay.
So
August.
in 3 years from now, when somebody watches this in April,
Yeah.
we're not taking deposits for February, but
August of 2020, we're taking deposits for February of 2021.
right now.
Now. And that changes, but that means in January, when I'm starting to square away when dogs are going home that are in for training currently, which those dogs aren't even here for training yet, most of them, then I can start saying, okay, we're going to have availability for your dog to be dropped off anytime after this date. And then you can make it work with your schedule on that February timeframe.
Yep.
So that's pretty much what it looks like. And then we do take a deposit to hold a training spot.
That's it.
That's it. Pretty easy peasy. So we'd love to work with you. We'd love to work with your dogs. So give us a call and we'll get something set up.
Awesome. That's all we have time for in part 2. Give us a moment and we'll be right back.